This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Bessy Beneath. This map can be found over at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. This map is currently available for PC only as of this initial map release. Do not know if this map is intended for console release in the future or not, but all I can say is just keep an eye out in the mod hub and see if it gets updated with console support. This map is a UK-based map based on the Cornwall area. This map includes 8 farms, which include 2 sheep, pig, a horse, 2 cow farms, an arable yard, and a contractor yard. So one of the goals of this video is going to be able to identify all 8 of those farms. The map includes custom crop textures. Animal yards are built into the map. So basically, regardless of the play mode, when you start the map, you will see what you see. The only difference is going to be in Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, your starting money, and your starting equipment. In the two former play modes, you don't have any starting equipment and no land, but all the farms are preset as they are. Multiple sell points, 98 fields ranging from large to small, small forests, BGA, realistic DEM terrain, OxygenDavid lighting adjustments, seasons ready, and manure mod ready. Go ahead and load on in. Now I will say that I have loaded this map up with seasons and straw harvest. There was no problems with that combination. Cannot comment on how well this map will work with something like the Maize Plus Forage Extension, Maize Plus CCM options, because they do all add additional 8 types, additional crops, or tip to ground products, I should say, to the map, and as a result, could be an error message related to that. Go ahead and bring up the log. We're going to see this map load up pretty quick, error-free, warning-free, and here we are, loaded into the map. Go ahead and take a look at the PDA. We're going to see this is clearly a grass map with the prevalence of meadows here versus arable crop fields. We do have all of the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 19, and if we take a look here at the lands area, you'll see that we own a big chunk of the outside area of the map. This is all for $0, so we can sell this or buy it, but I think it's so that we can do certain things like terraform and whatnot around the area, should we so wish. We also own the main starting farm, which is a cow and chicken farm, $250,000. We have lands 25, 6, 4, 9, 7, and 15 also owned at the very start. Let's take a look here and see if we can't find all 8 farms. We've got one right here in our starting farm. We have a sheep farm to the north for $183,000. We have a horse farm to the south of the sheep farm, $157,000. So we're up to 3. Got the pig farm, $98,000. So 4. Sheep farm, $130,000, almost $131,000. 5. Another pig farm over here, $71,800. That is 6. 6 farms. Missing the arable farm. And I'm missing the contractor yard. Arable farm, I would assume, would have a silo, lime station, fuel station. Here's the lime station, silo, and that is the pig farm. So, yeah, maybe we'll see it on an aerial flyover. Maybe we'll see it in the drive-thru. But yeah, I'm up to 6. I don't know where 8 are. I don't know where the arable or the contractor yard is. Maybe we'll find that. let's go ahead and take a look at the sell points. We have two main sell points here on the map. We'll accept the bulk of our crops. We also have our spinnery for cotton and wool, 2 sell points for eggs, 2 sell points for sugarcane, if you're so bold as to attempt to grow sugarcane in the UK. We have 2 sell points for our milk. And then the barn will accept hay, straw, grass, and silage. And we also have straw pellets enabled here at the barn. You have a fairly decent list of starting equipment at the main farm when we start up in new farmer mode. We do not have any animals at the start, and we do have contracts available on the map. Take a look at that starting equipment. Starting with the John Deere 6250R tractor and the Fendt 724. So our tractors are pretty powerful, 240 to 300 horsepower. So the Massey Ferguson Activa harvester. Paired that with the Free Flow 25-foot grain header. The New Holland FR 780 forage harvester. Couple that with the Kemper 360 plus chaff corn header for that. Got the TKD 302 trailer. Agrimaz POH5 plow. Small Cultimer L300 cultivator. Spirit R300S seeder. The Vanderstand Tempo V8 planter, and this is a fertilized seed hopper for that planter. The Kuhn fertilized spreader, not manure spreader. We have the New Holland discbine, have a tedder, and the Kuhn rake. New Holland round baler, John Deere forks, or loader arms, sorry. Manure fork, bale spike, header trailer, and a weight is our starting equipment. As I said, there are no custom animal areas on the map. You have a custom vehicle workshop trigger that we can place down. But getting it to place might be a little problematic. Here at the main farm. There, if we wanted. That is going to come into play here in a little bit on another farm, because I know at least one farm we're missing a workshop trigger, so that will come in handy. Here we are at our starting point. We do have a sleep trigger here at the house, kind of in the garage area. Right across from the house we have our chicken coop. And then we have the spawn point for the eggs inside the coop. And then the food trough for the chickens is right down the main lane here. Feed our chickens. Further on here in the main farm, we've got our John Deere tractor kind of parked here. Front weight hidden in the weeds. There's our fertilized spreader, arms, some of our attachments. Feeder and planter. Further down and around the hill, we have the cow area. Inside the barn, we have our water trough. Again, we activate the animal pen extension mod during these map videos. One, help us identify where water trough is. Two, to see if the map author has included integrated support for the pipes or not. And three, it helps us identify how much animals we can have in each independent area. Also have our food trough here, and it's not marked, but the straw trigger is right here in between. Slurry, our manure, 500 cows for this area. Then we have a silage bunker right here. Nice building here to store our bales, should we so wish. We have our milk trigger right here. going to take us up to field 9 that we own at the start. I'll run back to the back up to where the John Deere tractor is. Then we'll continue some more of the main farm tour. Little cubbies here for smaller implements, smaller vehicles. And lead us up to Meadow 25. Grass is becoming quite popular with the little yellow daisies. I think it looks far better than the Giant's grass. More general storage. There's a trailer hiding away. Workshop trigger for this farm. And then our harvesters are going to be in here. Ignore that. That's the workshop trigger I just placed. That is not standard there. Here we have our farm silo. We have our tip and our fill point. Or large spacious sheds. Again, this would be great for spillover bale storage or just general storage of anything we want, really. Nice clear signage. Nice to see that. And up the hill here, we have some more silage bunkers. These are covered. We have chaff trigger for that one. Chaff trigger for that one. So this cow farm has a total of 3 silage bunkers. 2 up here, up on the hill, and 1 down there by the cow area. That, guys, is basically the main starting farm. We've got a fuel point also right here. What I'm going to do is get set up for that fly around that folks seem to enjoy quite well. And we'll take a look at the map from a little bit of altitude, trying to fly around the various animal areas and sell points to get a feel for the lay of the land. Then we'll head back over to the shop, buy our Mahindra, and drive around the map and see it how, in my opinion, it's meant to be seen from the cab perspective and just from the general above and behind view. Get a little bit of altitude, and we can take a look back around here at the farm, main farm, the various buildings. And that workshop trigger that's right there in the middle of the ground, that I placed. Silage bunkers up on the hill. Cow area, the silage bunker back over there. And just take a look at the map. Distance, scenery, traffic. Main farm lane coming into the main farm area. Make the PDA a little bit bigger so we can kind of see where we are going. And let's head over this way. So the vehicle shop's right there. That's where we're going to end. Got a little bit of a pad here that we could put a building down, did we so wish. Coming over here to one of the sheep farms. We're going to look at this more detail from the ground. I would think this could be a contractor yard, but can't open the doors. Maybe I have to buy the land before I can open the door. I do have a workshop trigger here. Going up here to the doors. Now lets me do it. So let's call this the contractor yard. So if that's the case, then that's 7. Have the horse area here. Horse farm. Pig farm is right here. Main farm again is right over there. Off there in the distance. Bunch of sell points. I'll head down here to the southeast corner of the map where we have another sheep area. We have a sheep farm. Big sheep pasture there. South of the map, let's just take a look as we go across. See, the map is not flat, just gentle rolling hills. Nothing too extreme. This could almost be construed as a farm of some sort. A little hard to tell. That's either the contractor yard or not. Interesting. Is 98. Beyond the playable area, I guess this is not a playable field. Owned by me, but it has decorative farm equipment on it with a collision. Wouldn't really think this is intended to be farmed by us per se. The fact that it's got a collision on it. Can't really sell that. Trying to farm that field, you're going to have that cultivator there all the time. Here we have the dairy, biogas plant. Loop up here to another cow farm. And this is the cow farm where we don't have a workshop trigger that I noticed. Spinnery, animal dealer, sawmills, also another grain sell point is located here. Nice random buildings and sheds scattered around. Excellent for remote bale storage. Fly across through here. I have noticed that power poles in the fields are collision free. Warp right through those. Keep on back to the shop. Fuel station. Down. There we have our fuel point. Bessy Beneath, or Bessy Beneath dealer. Does have operating hours. I do not know because we load in the map after 8 a.m. So I don't know if this closes at night. It does have operating hours, so it's possible these gates close. top trigger. And we have our customize repair cell trigger. And the trigger marker is right here for this bay. Right. Let's head on up and check out the sheep area to the far north, east of the map first. We'll make our way down and hit the cows. I think we'll hit the sheep area from in-cab perspective. Got nice signage here, sheep farm. Rough road through here. I have noticed also that there are no collisions on the hedges. The hedges are higher helper friendly, but oh no, there isn't. Thought there would be collisions on the fence posts, but no. These are collisionless free also. There's that little placeable area mentioned in the flyover. I think I asked once on a video how many folks like to drive from this perspective versus from the above and behind perspective. And it seemed to be a fairly even mix. Nice old manure spreader just hanging out there at the entry gate. Here we have the delivery trigger for a sheep. 500 sheep for this farm. We have our food trough, our water trough for our sheep, our wool spawn point, nice big bale shed, or equipment shed, whatever you should so wish to use it for. Big equipment. And there we go. Now, I don't think that there is a sleep trigger at these. That's pretty much the big sheep farm here in the northeast. Make our way back this long lane, taking a look across the map. That big lane right there to our right, main farm that we have at New Farmer Mode. Oh. 9 set. Guess those are Cornwall towns. Got those buildings here with the interior modeling. Give the whole building a little bit of depth. That's going to be standard in the maps on the Alpine expansion. And when that comes out in November, all of the buildings in the Alpine expansion will have that functionality with the windows. Decorative farm here. Head up this lane to what we believe is either the arable farm or the contractor yard. Now, I would think the arable farm would have a farm silo, and it would be more associated with where there's several arable fields, which could be here. We've got a lot of arable fields around this area. But you would think an arable farm would include a farm silo. I do know that in Europe, in the UK, shipping crops into buildings is generally accepted principles or practice. So this might be the arable farm. Fuel sheds. It's this big storage building here, and I'm sure these walls have collisions on them. If you did tip the ground, not really seeing it. I'm going to call this the contractor yard. Oh, look, it says, good guess on my behalf, Paddlezin's Contractor's Farm. Good guess. Over here we have the horse farm. Storage over here. Have our riding ring set up. This is going to be our straw trigger. We have our horse delivery point. And then up the pasture, we have the water trough and the food trough. And both of these are activated from this side. So the triggers are actually on this side. Got to come up in here to this meadow to water and feed horses. Isn't that big of a deal because there's a gate right here. Around here, the Grand Horse Estate guys don't have a sign. What's up with that? Head further on down south to get to the southernmost sheep farm. Bit of a trailer park over there, and I did notice that that is outside the playable area. Kind of interesting. Here we have the second sheep farm. Not a lot going on. Pretty basic. I mean, we've got a little bit of storage here for bales. We have our water trough, food trough, a wool. Around the corner here, we have a gate. For our sheep. 500 sheep also for this area, but man, they have a huge range to roam in over here. With seasons and graze support, you could keep a whole boatload of sheep in there and not have to feed them much for most of the year. Continue on down the road to the barn sell point, and the barn sell point is going to take our hay, straw, grass, silage, and pellets if we have straw harvest enabled. Barn is right here. Another trigger for that. And this road just kind of dead ends down there to the south. Gonna loop back and kind of double back. But we've got to head all the way up to the shop before we can make our way off the other side of the map. Pedal to the metal, and let's just get on up there. While we're doing that, we can just kind of look across the way. We're seeing right over there, that's the pig farm. Over there in the trees. All right. I can make our way over here to the pig farm. Right here. Pig farm. Yeah, okay. Trella Glossic Farm and Cottages. Some of the cottages. And quite a big operation we've got going on here. Park this right here for now. We've got our lime silo. Nice buildings for equipment storage, fuel. Be an excellent bale storage building or anything else for that matter. Looking for the wall collisions. I don't know if there's any there or not. Now, this is an interesting function of the pig farm. We're going to get to that in a moment. We've got our silo dump station, fill station, a nice big shed. Newer. We have our pig trigger. Food trough. Straw trigger is right here. And our water trough. These markers are supposed to be marking, I think, the straw trigger. Technically, they're a little bit too far away. See, the straw trigger actually is right here. We have the slurry pit for our big pigs. I didn't see 500 pigs. Now, what I think is interesting for pig farm is we've got 3 silage bunkers up here. Maybe this will be important if you do the maize plus CCM or maize plus forage extension, maybe. I don't know. Got 3 silage bunkers up here at the pig farm. Just as much as the big starting cow farm. And up the hill, we have what appears to be like a root crop storage. Dump your potatoes in here, sugar beets in here. Store those. And that's the pig farm. Head on back to the main road and check out the myriad of sell points over by the animal dealer. Turn on in here, we have Ruin High Lanes Industrial Estate. Wool, cotton sell point. Have one of our grain sell points. We have our log sell point. Wood chips under the building. And then finally, we have our animal dealer. Right here in this hashed area. Continue on. Quite an abundance of maps coming out as of late. Been a big flurry for PC maps. Not so much for console maps. Maybe some of these PC maps are going to be coming for console. And they're just taking some advice to get it out on PC first. Here we have another cow farm. This farm does not have a workshop trigger. It's the only farm that we've really looked at so far that hasn't had a workshop trigger. So that's where the placeable workshop trigger in the garage is going to be rather helpful. Nice variety of building types. Be a perfect spot for that garage trigger. See if I can put it down here, even if I don't own it. Nope, I need to own the land, but it looks like it might place here. If I did own the land. Here we have the drop-off for the cows. 150 cows for this area. Food trough. Water trough. Straw in the middle here. Slurry point. Manure around the side. Milk. Goal. A great bale building. Equipment storage and our silage bunker. There. So that leaves us with one area to go. That is down there at the grain sell point dairy area. Like I said, we've not found what would indicate to me the arable farm. Found 7. Not really found number 8. That is a collision wall. Go AI traffic. So we need to loop back here. There's a road. That'll take us back to the last area we want to get to. Maybe? Maybe not. It's a little hidden. Looks like it's going to get us back in here. Over here we have another grain sell point. Have our dairy. Sell point here. And our biogas plant. And we didn't talk about the biogas plant. We can buy the biogas plant for $70,000 basically. So we have our digester, gestate, and we have our bunkers. 1 and bunker 2. Guys, that is it. That is Bessy Beneath by DustyDave. Again, it is available over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. It says there are 8 farms. We found 7. So curious if you guys know where Curious Arable Farm is. Till next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.